Hello again, everybody. This is Kyle Broder, and once again we are doing another of Kyle's critiques. I'm doing a movie review, and this is another request by our friend Amy. She watched another movie on Netflix and was pretty much really excited for me to watch this. Like, didn't even want me to watch it last night, and I couldn't, so I watched it today. The movie is called Megan is Missing. I'd never heard of this movie before, ever. It's done in the style of like Blair Witch Project, Paranormal Activity, the found footage stuff. Now, I would say that normally I hate found footage. I think it's terrible. I've never been a fan of it. I always think it falls short of the reality feel that they're going for. It's pretty hard to get people to act realistic, especially in the situations they put them in. I've never been a fan of it. However, while I will not say that this is one of those movies, I mean, as far as a film goes, there's a lot of things wrong with this one. The acting's terrible for the most part, at least in the first hour. It's not believable at first. It's very. I think the depiction of the teenage life is very extreme, especially at the age that they're supposed to be, which is 13 or 14. With the stuff that's going on. Does it happen, some of this stuff? Of course. Does it happen as often, as frequently as they're making it out? No. It really doesn't. I mean, people could argue with me. I just don't see it. Not to the level they portrayed. However, if you can watch this movie and get past the beginning of the movie, you know, not to guilt Lily, but pretty much everything is effed up. It's incredible how this movie goes from pretty much almost unwatchable and just you don't care about it at all. From that to you're kind of glued and you really, really like. It's almost, you know what's going to happen, but you don't want it to happen, and you're trying to hope for some sort of happy ending, and you just know it's not going to happen. I would say for anyone who has kids, this would have to be terrifying. I mean, it's a movie about, I mean, comes down to, it's about the whole people on the internet, man, taking, kidnapping and killing people and raping them and etc., etc. It's what it comes down to, and, you know, I've always said the scariest thing for me is things that can happen in real life. While I thought there were some things that were far-fetched about this, about the way it happened, particularly people getting kidnapped in broad daylight, yes, it happens. Does it happen often? No. I mean, if you don't believe me, look it up. People really don't just get snatched in broad daylight and no one sees them and the person just gets away with it and tra-la-la. It just doesn't happen for the most part. That's the parts that were kind of unbelievable. But the actual fear of the scenario and the psychological side of it was pretty freaking terrifying. You know, especially the ending. The ending is awful. I mean, awful in the way that this movie pretty much settles my opinion. I always was a guy who was kind of on the fence with the death penalty. As far as I'm concerned, someone who did this to somebody the way that happened, what goes down in this movie, dude, get him out of here. You don't get to live anymore. That's just not. I mean, people could say, you know, you don't get to play God, blah, blah, blah. Okay, maybe. But you know what? You don't get to go around kidnapping and murdering little girls either. That's just me. Maybe that's cool. Maybe that's what's accepted in society. I don't think so. So I say, if you do that, get out of here. Leave this life. Someone has to kill you, because otherwise you're not getting the chance to come out of jail sometime and do it again. So, and I'm telling you, this movie, if you see this movie, and I'm a liberal, that's the funny thing, I'm a liberal, but if you see this movie, I dare you to watch this movie and not feel rage and sickness and disgust and all of these things wrapped up in a ball. Like, I dare you not to feel them, because if you don't feel them, you're pretty much a freaking robot. This is definitely up there with those movies that there are some movies that come out that disturb me so much that I really just can't watch them probably more than once, and like, if I watch them again, it's got to be like 10 years down the road. Like, oh, excuse me, guys. I know that sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I'm telling you, there really isn't any exaggeration here. This movie is deeply disturbing. If you see it, you'll understand. It's just, I don't want to spoil it too bad, but the last scene is freaking heart-wrenching. And, the fact that this type of stuff, and like the Craigslist killer, and stuff like this that has happened, and that's the scariest thing, I think, is the fact that stuff like this has happened, and the internet is not safe. I mean, it's why you have shows like To Catch a Predator, because there are people out there who are sick freaking people who would do all kinds of weird stuff. We don't know, Thank God technology is getting better and better, where these people can be traced, and it's not so easy to do it anymore. I don't know when this movie was made exactly, but it's gotten harder for people to do stuff like this. I mean, like, they have... It's to a point today with computers where you can pretty much track anything. I mean, you look at the best computer hackers in the world, they can hack into anything. The guys they have, that people have, government has working for them, can probably do the reverse. They can, find pay somebody enough money, they can do anything. You know what I mean? You can get a freaking elephant to, dance on the head of a pin. Anything can happen. So, but what I'm saying is, I would definitely say this movie is something. I'd say I need to watch film just because of the disturbing nature of it. It's compelling in that way. It surprised me. I really was expecting, because the first hour is so bad, guys, and I'm not even exaggerating. Like, you watch this movie, if you get past the beginning, you're gonna be happy. But I mean, the beginning sucks. Like, the beginning of the movie, like, literally, I almost turned it off like 3 times. I was just like, oh my god, this is terrible. But once you get past that, it just becomes super intense, and it's like a terrible roller coaster ride that you're like begging to get off, and like the car needs a sick maniac who just keeps pulling the lever again and again, and you're just stuck on there for hours. It is that type of unfortunately a terrible ride in that way, with pretty much no satisfaction in the end, because this is not a fairy tale ending by any means. So that is my review of Megan is Missing. It's available on Netflix, guys, if you want to check it out. I definitely say check it out, and then prepare to be very unnerved for a while afterwards. And a side note, thanks a lot, Amy. I hate you for making me watch this terrible movie that has now damaged my mind. Alright, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. More reviews coming soon. Please subscribe, and any comments you leave, I'll check them, and if you got any more ideas for reviews, I'll be on there. Alright, thanks a lot, guys. Till next time.